Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my buddy Scott Maibor with us from Senior Benefits Boston. Hey, Scott, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Kevin.
Let's start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about what you do, my friend.
So company name is Senior Benefits Boston, and we help people figure out their Medicare options. So we don't pick plans for people. We don't sell plans. We help them navigate through the Medicare system, which is pretty confusing, and help them choose the best option for them.
So tell me how you work with people then. So what's the process involved?
Okay. No matter how somebody comes to me, I always basically start the same way with explaining Medicare. Even if somebody's been on Medicare, I find that there's so much confusion and so much misunderstanding that it just makes sense to start at the beginning so we're all on the same page. So I take 15, 20 minutes and just basically, these are the parts, this is what's covered, this is A, this is B, and then talk about the options so that from the start, we're all on the same page.
Now, as some of us start just work longer in life, does it make sense if I'm 65, 70 years old, I'm still working? Do I want to look at Medicare? Do I just stay on the company plan? How does that all work out?
Well, I was going to say it's entirely up to you. You look good for your age, by the way. But in some cases, it's not up to the individual. So what I would always say is, one, at 64-ish, you should understand Medicare. Even if you have no intention whatsoever of getting on Medicare, because you have a great company plan. I actually just spoke to somebody in this situation. You should understand it. Before you turn something down, at least understand what you're turning down. Because at some point in the future, you probably will be on Medicare, so it's worth understanding. In some cases, your employer-based plan or your spouse's employer-based plan is better or cheaper than Medicare. In some cases, it's not. It really depends on what your options are, but you can do a side-by-side comparison and say, I have this level of health or these issues coming up, and this is the better one, or this is the better one. And next year, we review it again. So that would be one. But there are caveats. If the company is less than 20, you're required to be on Medicare, not widely enforced. Some carriers enforce it more strictly than others. But the risk is you're at a small company, you're on the group plan, you should have been on Medicare. Now something bad happens to you and there's a big medical bill. The health insurance company could basically say you should have been on Medicare. That's the law. So that's one issue. If you're laid off or furloughed, you cannot be on COBRA and be over 65. Otherwise, you will be penalized by Medicare. So just some things to keep in mind. And then people who work for municipalities, the state, the town, federal government, they usually have other options, which sometimes require Medicare, GIC people.
Maybe just in a short conversation, you see why people just get so frustrated. They don't know what to do. They decide to try to do nothing, and then, like you said, if you make a mistake, everything you worked hard for could be gone.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It's very scary, and people get, you kind of get this analysis paralysis thing going on where I've had people, there's one guy I work with, he's both an attorney and a CPA, and he said, I'm pretty bright. I've been to got a lot of education under my belt. I couldn't figure it out. Or he was working for his wife. He's like, I couldn't figure it out. And I started one of the books on Medicare. He said, it's just so confusing and quite frankly, boring to a lot of people. You can't focus. And one thing I should mention too, in Massachusetts, Medicare does not follow the federal guidelines. The federal program is different. So a lot of what people read out there in like a generic, not to pick on the book, but Medicare for Dummies type book, it's covering 47 states. Massachusetts isn't one of the 47.
Makes sense. But one of the things that I like, Scott, is you don't get paid by any particular carrier. So it's not like you're trying to sell me a plan because that's your highest commission. You really are neutral.
Yeah, so I represent all the carriers that will work with a broker in Massachusetts. And I'll tell you, if the best carrier for your particular situation isn't one I work with, it's still the best carrier for you. Medicare dictates to the carriers how much I get paid. So there is no advantage to me to pick one carrier over another other than what's best for you. They're all, by law, paying the exact same amount.
Which makes it perfect. So Scott, how can people reach out to you? How can they learn more, my friend?
You can go to my Facebook page, Senior Benefits Boston. You can send me an email, Scott at seniorbenefitsboston.org. You can call me or text me, 617-721-1250. However you want to reach me.
Scott, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to jump on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you very much, Kevin, for all you do for everyone.